All right, welcome back to Back Society. I'm your co-host Jay with my other co-hosts,
Hey.
And of course, you know the other one.
See money.
See money.
Baby.
All right. So it's been 2 weeks since we last had an episode, and we've been a little busy. We've been working. We've been hitting the ground running with Bad Karma, essentially. Trying to get our own gym fashion wear up and coming. It's going to be great. We got a logo we like. We just need to get the assets for it. I've already got the Shopify up. Got a little website. I just need assets to put it in there, so it doesn't look jank. It looks jank without assets. And
let me tell you what. Like, I think our logo is pretty dope.
I think the logo is pretty dope.
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's cool because it's like small enough where you can do stuff with it, but it also like, it's legit.
It's eye-catching. It's nice. It's a cool logo. People can like it. You can put that shit on stuff like stickers and slap that on things.
Yeah. And
then
I found myself going down a freaking rabbit hole looking at Chinese suppliers for like 2 hours.
Yeah, you found like the Gymshark supplier.
Dude, so my God.
You told me that. I was like,
yeah. I found some website and it tells you where people like source their stuff from.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pay for like the good version, but like you can just run a company's name in there and see who they're affiliated with. And where they're importing and exporting and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was pretty dope. And so I found it like pretty quickly. I was like, all right, what are the top shit?
Right.
And then I was looking at like more like niche athletic wear. Like you ever heard of like Soft Fleet?
No.
Or High Leet is another one.
Okay, I've heard of High Leet, but not Soft Fleet.
Yeah. Soft Fleet's like it's more geared towards like military stuff. Like soft, like special operation forces. So Soft Fleet.
We got to get some shit for them, man. Veteran strong, baby.
So like, so I was like, all right, what are these like niche kind of like high-end athletic wear? Where are they getting their shit from? And then, like kind of looking at, so there's two, I see it as like there's two parts, right? There's like a brand where you can just use whoever to print your shit,
right,
or you need to like source real garments. You know what I mean? That's not like, a brand name, I guess, at the end of the day.
Right.
Because like if you can source your own stuff, it's cheaper, right? Then you can find a printer, but you gotta buy in bulk. That's the hard part.
Yeah. So
it's a lot of capital. Or you can do the onesie twosies, where you can like have them pretty much, you can get your design on the front. And if they're tagged and it's got removable tags, they'll remove the tags and they'll print your own label on the inside as well.
That's good. That's good.
So I found that, but the thing is that can be like almost $1 a shirt to do that. Or more. So then, your costs have to kind of creep up. I mean, you're still looking at like a decent margin if you can market it the right way. But like the more you do to the shirt, the more it increases, right? If you're not sourcing it directly from wherever.
There's also what you want to do. Like if you want to have, a front print, even on the breast, or like a back print, or you want to do like a sleeve as well.
Yeah.
Because you can make a really cool design, but the cost creep will,
Yeah, cost creep will kill you. And then like, especially if you want it like tagless and you want it to be like your brand and not like Gildan, or there's a couple other ones, right? And I was researching like some people were like, hey, where should I source my stuff from? And blah, blah, blah. And there's a couple like brands that I'd never even heard of out there that's what they do, right? Is they just sell like blank tees with removable tags. And they're supposed to be like decent quality stuff.
Right.
But it's like just finding the right ones. But some of those you got to pay. Like, I mean, you're still talking like even blank, they're like $14 a shirt.
Oh, wow.
Right. And so then you got to think about like, what's your price point when you're trying to retail these bad boys, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Are you looking for 100% markup? Because now you're talking $30 plus to $50 a shirt, probably after like shipping and all that stuff.
Yeah, it can get up there.
Yeah, it can get up there, dude.
What do you guys like to wear when you go to the gym?
And I'm a shorts and shirt kind of guy.
Bad Karma.
Bad karma.
Like to bad karma.
Eventually, yeah. Be wearing that to the gym and be like, oh yeah, man, this is just
I
an
usually
up and
wear
coming
just,
brand
like,
I just
blank
heard
stuff.
of. Yeah.
Like I wear this like t-shirt to the gym today.
Yeah. I like when I have a certain shirt that I really like.
Is it a
It's like
compression?
it's like a t-shirt, but it's kind of like heavy. I want to look at like what it's made from. And then like I like to wear like mesh shorts that like are a little bit above my knees. But I like the waistband folded. I like to fold my waistband and have the string like as long as possible.
Mhm.
Why?
I don't know.
That just sounds ridiculous to me.
But
If I saw a dude with the string, I'd be like, "What's wrong with this guy? Why is the string so long?"
I like the long strings though.
He likes to feel it sway between his legs.
I do.
Dude, you know what's so weird is like for
Feels
me,
like a
you know what I
belt.
use you know what I use the string in my shorts for? I tie up my wedding ring.
Oh, really?
Really?
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I'll take my ring off and I'll slide it on like one of the strings and I'll just knot it. And so like I know I'm never gonna lose it.
Is that unique or like is that what a lot of people do?
I have no idea. It's just what I
Kind of
do.
unique. I've never seen it done before or heard
Yeah.
it.
I always do it.
But
Always do it.
I like to have longer strings than normal.
Where are you buying these pants with longer? I've never seen the option for a
No,
long
there are no
drawstring.
options. That's just what I like.
There are
That's
no
what
options. I
But
mean,
if we're gonna make this
I'm seeing a
art,
lot of like niche cases here.
yeah, but that's what stands out, right? Because I mean, like once you break it out, people are gonna be like, "Man, hey, those are pretty cool." I like it because it feels like it's like a belt. I don't know, like a belt in like karate or
Like
something.
I was waiting for you to say
Yeah,
a karate
This
belt.
is where it's at. So there's a little bit of okay. All right.
yeah.
You know what I was thinking though? Actually, you bring that up. Dude, our logo and brand would look dope on like a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gi.
That,
Yeah.
dude, that logo is tough. I was showing people at work.
Yeah. What? Oh yeah, you were trying to get feedback. What'd you got?
I got a lot of good feedback.
Yeah, good
Like,
ones.
dude, yeah, dude.
They're
I
just
swear, like
oh, look at that. Oh my god.
when Chris sent me that, I was like, dude, that's it right there, man. That's right away. I was like, dude, that's the one.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to like neck it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like,
Oh,
all right.
that is it. Dude,
I'm
because
thinking keychains. I'm thinking stickers. Like, that's the kind of free shit you throw in like a box. You know what I
right.
mean?
Oh yeah, for
Right.
sure. Because I wanted it to be like kind of like emoji type.
And that's what
Like
it
that.
is.
Yeah, and that's what it is, dude. And I was like, man, that was right on the money,
Mhm.
dude.
I mean, it's good. I mean, like as soon as we get like a finalized logo and its assets, we can hit the ground running. I've been
Yeah.
thinking of the back end portion, like the websites and the social media parts.
Yeah. I think the marketing will be I would need help. Cause I mean, all you have to do is like I see the thing is too is I know two people that that made their own clothing line and sell it.
Right.
So like
How successful are they?
they're pretty successful actually. They're
Yeah,
pretty
no, I'm like that was like a serious question. Like I'm
yeah.
just
No,
curious. Like,
yeah.
What's the marketing
100%. No,
strategy?
that like I have them in my pocket and I already like reached out with them like a year ago, couple months ago about it. And they'll help me through the process. But this one kid, he does gym stuff and like how he markets his stuff is just like, like social media and like you see him in the gym and like his editing skills, his camera skills are just
So he makes like motivational shit,
yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah. But you don't see many people that do that. Like Gymshark, for instance. Gymshark was the first one to be on the scene to just give out their stuff to social influencers,
Right.
and they would just do that. But then over time, like Gymshark would get a lot of backlash because they would only use people that took steroids.
oh yeah.
So they were like, "Well, you really honestly can't achieve
Are you telling me we should go the opposite and just hand it out to fatties in the gym? Just try and be like, yo, keep at it. Throw them a shirt.
Keep at it, man. Keep that bad. I mean, it depends the message you want to get across. Like, do you want people? I mean,
it's not a bad idea.
It's not like it's a motivation, you know, in itself to wear this, you know.
That was the point of bad karma, because it's like when you think of bad karma, like when I was coming up with it or whatever, I was like, there's multiple ways you could go with it, right? Like, you could have been like, man, I just got dumped because I'm fat and out of shape. Now I'm about to hit the weights, come back and look clean, look good, whatever. And then she's gonna come back into my life, and I'd be like, nah, man,
it's too good for you.
Too good for you.
Nah,
you got that bad karma now.
Or it's just like, you know, when you're going through like a lot of stressful times and stuff like that, and you just gotta escape and just get rid of all that bad karma. Just, you know what I mean? Bad karma can mean a lot of different things to a lot of people.
But at the end of the day, it seems like you want it to be like, you know, go the extra mile, shit like that, right?
Gotta go the extra mile because of a rejection or something, and then you come back into the scene. Like, just like, you know, you were never good enough for anything, for like
you come back bad as hell.
You know, and it's like you're coming back with a vengeance.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like going to hell and back, and then, you know, you conquer hell.
Yeah, you gotta distill that a little bit though, and figure out a way to like make that like
more succinct,
like into like not just succinct, but like even like into like a couple different taglines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man,
but
look at him. He looks so excited.
I'll tell you what. Going to like some dude who's like just trying to get his workout thing going, like, hey, dude, like, here's some free stuff. You know, I want you to post stuff every day and tag us in it. You know what I mean? Like, show your progress. Here's an XXL shirt. I want you to be into an XL shirt in like
for
9 months. You know, stuff like that.
Dude, I like that, because those people, like, once they get to that, like, to that level that they want to be, they'll remember that too. So that's like, that can really cultivate some really good loyalty as well.
Yeah. And honestly, progress is realistic. You know, honestly, you don't want to look like a bodybuilder. You don't want to
slap the logo on like the syringe for the steroids.
Not just that, is that I feel like bodybuilding is ugly. Like, it's just
it's a weird mindset, man.
Exactly.
It's the other side of body dysmorphia. You know what I mean?
It is a body dysmorphia.
It's wild stuff, man.
Yeah. We're going for like
more organic, right?
Organic, but people that want to get after it.
Like realistic, right? Like
realistic expectations.
You can drive, you know, but the other thing is too, it's like you want it to be like a healthy mindset, right? You don't want them dudes like, you know, barely eating anything, like on the verge of death working out. You know what I mean? Like, that's also like a weird. Have you seen those guys where they're like try to get their body fat as low as possible, and they don't eat? They just like live off of coffee and like protein powder.
Yeah,
dope.
And I mean they get shredded.
Yeah,
but like they don't look healthy either. You know,
not at all.
No.
I want it for the people that got that chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I like.
You got something to prove.
I mean, we got a logo. I think we got to come up with a tagline.
Yeah.
But like you said, the store's a big thing. I think the product stuff in the beginning won't be too difficult. I mean, the design part's going to be hard, but I think like, you know, like getting it made is not that difficult. There's a lot of options online, a lot of vendors where you can get like onesie twosies made until you start to like kind of build up. I mean, the real question is, what kind of investment do you want to make, right? Like, are you trying to buy stuff in bulk to give away and to market, or do you want to push people to the site so they can just order them and they're just like kind of made to order?
Well,
like, that's another question.
I would say, I mean,
do you want inventory or not? That's what he's really. Yeah.
I think starting off with some inventory might be a good idea, so we can give it away, because at the end, once we get that marketing going, that's when you can push people we can start doing the made to order.
Yeah, I mean, I think the made to order
we
is
need
easy,
traffic,
right?
you know? You can't have the chicken before the egg.
I'll ask those 2 guys that are talking about what they do, but also I know for, like my girl, she does that stuff, like, people would send her, like, clothes so she can wear, and then she posts them on Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
that's definitely a thing, and I get that. But I'm just saying, like, when you're talking about you can only have if you have your own inventory and giving shit away, like you still got to have some kind of revenue stream, right?
right.
So you're still pushing them to the site for the made to order. The question is, how much do you want to hold in reserve too, right? You know, um, so like, is the initial order like, hey, I need to order 100 shirts? I mean, now you're talking over $1,000 investment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, you're probably talking like closer to $1,500 depending on what you're doing to these shirts.
Mhm.
You know, so all right, you're 1,500 in the hole. You have the made to order side of the vendor, right? Like where people can just go. So it's like you gotta kind of do both simultaneously, I think, because we can't afford to have 1,000 shirts. And
Right.
you know what I mean? You can afford to have 100 shirts and hand them out, or 50 shirts, but at the same time, you still got to push them to that, you know, that made to order kind of thing until you build up enough, you know, profit and capital to actually start to buy inventory. But then the question is, where you house that inventory? Who's printing that? You know what I mean? I think it's like a phased approach. There's the building of the brand with the kind of made to order inventory, and then you kind of, the next step is like, okay, now we start to build and house our own inventory and print our own stuff. Or is it like, hey, I'm using this one vendor and I'm just buying in bulk now? That maybe that's phase 2. And then phase 3 is like, hey, now I'm going to a supplier and I'm importing my own stuff, you know, having custom stuff made for me, printing my own stuff. And you know, like there's like, it's like almost a tiered approach in my mind.
No, I agree.
But you got to decide what's the end goal.
Be number 1.
Well, I think the end goal is to at least have a traffic to recoup whatever down payment we put on trying to get the
yeah.
You know,
are you talking about like an end goal for each step?
Well, yeah, I mean, being number 1 is a long-term goal, right? You need to have short-term goals or you're going to fall apart in the beginning.
And like, what's your niche, right? Like, number 1 in what? Number 1 in athletic wear? Like, bro, the odds of you competing with, like,
we're competing
Under
with the
Armour
other Maryland
or
company,
Nike,
man. Fucking,
like, you know what I mean?
Under
Like,
Armour
that's
shit.
tough. Now, is it like high-end athletic wear for, you know,
See, I think
the everyday dude? You create your own market. You create the what is it? You know, you don't want to be number 1 in an existing market. You want to like create your own market.
Yeah, you want that niche.
Yeah. That blue river or blue ocean. But here's the thing too, it's like I feel like if you get too far ahead, you overthink things. I don't want to.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? Like but you still gotta understand the path to get there,
right? Or the path will unfold while we're walking. Maybe, because we don't really know. We don't really know the obstacles that we have to come across, and we don't really know what the future holds. But I do know what kind of athletic wear that I like, that I want to see. You know what I mean? I don't want.
Yeah, but you want what the consumer wants at the end of the day.
Or I want I want to put something out there that the consumer can relate to. Yeah, what you said.
No, but what I'm saying is like agnostic of like obstacles, right? It's like, okay, we know this is phase 1. This is where we're at.
Yeah.
And you got to have a goal like, okay, what's the beginning of phase 2? Is it us being able to then buy bulk and almost have our own inventory and still manage that made to order stuff?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you can sell locally. Maybe like you can give it, you know,
to the local gyms or whatever,
to the gyms to sell or something like that, right? And that, because then you're like, okay, I can buy 1,000 shirts at a time, right? Like, but then, you know, because I have this online traffic, and then I think it's like, all right, shit, like we're to the point where we want to like design our own style of wear, right? Because like in the beginning, you can only do so much.
Yeah.
With,
No, I agree.
you know, so
So
it's like, okay, where do you want to end up? Is it just like, hey, I just want to move product and that people care about with like a good brand, or do I want to get to the point where I have like really tailored, specific, cool niche product that I am designing and
I want to say, okay, I want to say for step one, phase one, on the creative side, I want to see like a shirt. It's like I have a shirt in mind. It's like it's a little bit heavier than most, but I find it very comfortable. I like it when I'm lifting, right? And like I like a certain type of shorts, like I said, with the string. And then I also want to remember like those COVID masks, like kind of they're called like
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Those
not like the
not like
Scully.
the N9 or whatever, right?
No, it's not.
Oh, you're
like
talking
the
about gators?
Or yeah, it's kind of like a gator, but I like the little thing that goes over your nose and then down to your neck, but it doesn't go over your head.
Yeah, you're thinking of a gator.
it's a
Yeah,
gator
yeah. I want one of those because
or
I think it looks.
balaclava.
I
Yeah.
think it looks.
Well, that
cool.
one goes over your head.
Oh, that goes over your face. Yeah.
I think it looks cool if you.
While you're lifting, you want that on you?
Bro,
He wants to
if
look.
it looks
He wants to
cool,
look
you
like a
can
thug, man.
not like a thug, but like just like a, like a, like a, you're just focused. All you see is your eyes.
All right. So this is my opinion.
Bam.
Phase one obviously is scaffolding. Phase one, we need a scaffold. We need to get set up. We need a design. We need the logo design. We should probably get the site set up as well as Shopify finalized, as in we actually have an idea of what to put in there. I think we should end phase one with a shirt that we like, and we should focus on shirts for now. And then we can expand later on because everything else is just expansion.
You got to build the brand. It's all brand in the beginning.
Right.
It's all brand.
It's name.
And it will
it's
start
name recognition.
Yeah. But I feel like that will start with a shirt, and
Yeah.
it will definitely save costs for now since we don't have income.
Yeah.
So everything else, I mean, like, obviously we can have like if we're promoting it or something, we can have like, I don't know, a specialty, but we can't really afford to sell it right now. So we should focus on shirts. But I would say phase two is definitely figure out distribution. And that goes for marketing as well. Like, do we want to, how we want to start the traffic going? Do we want to start by distributing to influencers or, stuff like that? But the phase one should definitely be scaffolding. We should get the back end started. We should have the site. We should have the site up, the local finalized, and at least an initial design for the shirt, and where we can get, and be happy with who we have as supplier.
Yeah, I think you need 2 or 3 designs. I don't think you want to stick with one. I think you need options. You need like 1 to 2 options, right?
Okay.
Like, and it could just be like, hey, we got a short sleeve shirt, and then like a tank or something like that, right?
Okay.
Just to like, they don't have to vary that far, but like it's just like, okay, maybe not everybody wants to wear a shirt, and depending on where you're sourcing it from, it could be different materials, right? It could be athletic. It could be like more of a cotton. It sounds like it's something like what you're talking about, Scott, right? Like, I really like lifting in like cotton t-shirts too.
Yeah,
it's just something about it. Like,
that's what I'm
also
saying.
when I sweat and I'm like, yeah, fuck
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why.
What, it turns into like a weighted shirt.
Other way.
It's weird because I feel like back in the day, it was like, hey, get away from cotton. That sucks. But like cotton nowadays, it's so much thinner and it's just, a lot of it's breathable, Yeah. Yeah. So like, I think it's really just like, I think you're right. You get the scaffolding set up, and that's the site, that's the logo, that's like a basic product. And then when you're saying distribution, I think you're really talking more about marketing. Not really distributing to somebody is not really distribution in my mind. Distribution to me is like, how do I get my stuff to the masses?
What would you put that in?
Physically get my stuff to the masses.
Yeah, that would be like a step 3.
Would you say that's like phase 3 then?
I think that's like, I think distribution of the product is really like it crosses all phases and it just scales up as you move along.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
Like in the
Say it like
beginning,
that.
like you could still have the site and a couple made to order t-shirts. That's still distribution, even though it's like limited quantity. At the end of the day, like you're still selling them onesie twosie, and we don't have to hold them in mass and try to get them out there, right? They're made to order. There's no backlog of inventory except for what you're holding to give away. So it's like scaffolding, marketing, just trying to get your name out there, along with beginning to drive that traffic to your site, or at least like have, whether that's your website for purchasing that stuff, whether that's your socials. Like I think like those are the big things. And then as you drive that traffic, then you can start to get, all right, you start introducing more and more options, right? Maybe, and then as you introduce more options and you scale up, then you can get more custom, like weird shorts with like super long strings and weird shit like that, and gaiters for whatever reason, with built-in
Yeah.
oxygen masks, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the way I kind of see it, right? But I think the distribution of it is scalable. It's just a thin line in the beginning, and it gets just thicker and thicker as you kind of progress. That's the way I kind of see it. I think we're saying all the same thing, but like it's just we're viewing it differently, or internalizing it differently.
I want one shirt to say like something about like to hell and back, you gotta conquer it or something. Like
Yeah, that's fine, right? That's what I'm saying. Like you need a couple taglines. And that's the thing is, like, your shirts don't gotta be crazy, right? Like you can have one with just the logo on front, Bad Karma, boom,
Yeah.
like, that's it, or on the back, and then you could have like the logo, like a small logo on the chest, and then like your tagline in the back, or just the tagline right across the front,
Or have something on the shoulder, chip on the shoulder or something like I don't know,
yeah.
something different.
It just says chip.
Just chip. I mean, people will get it.
Or you
Yeah.
just put karma on the shoulder or
Yeah.
something. Bad karma on the shoulder. Like, yeah, I'm coming in here. I'm about to mess up this gym. Yeah.
What was it? Be like Gambit. Be like, people go. Well, make sure people know what happened here today.
And then you could do. I was just thinking like another one would be like, if you didn't want me then, why do you want me now? Like kind of thing. Like, that's your
Yeah.
bad karma thing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Dude, many ways. Many ways.
That's what I'm saying. And those are the easy ones, right? Because like a lot of that's like from a design, it's just like a cool font and some basic, some basic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
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 So, I like it. I like it.
I like it too.
Pretty dope.
So we can get this so scaffolding, also locking down socials, like at least getting the name and shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Too. And we have to settle on what the web page is gonna the web page's domain's gonna be.
Yeah.
Since Bad Karma's taken, it's about $4,000.
Do you think people just think of names and stuff and
Yeah.
then just hold them from
they hold it and then
100%.
wait for someone to want it. Yep.
Yep.
They absolutely do that.
Even though in certain, it's illegal to squat on names, which is why sometimes you'll just see like bullshit websites. Like, oh, did you mean this? And it's just like an ad page. Because I think ICANN has made it like you're not allowed to hold it for so long without creating some kind of website.
So we gotta think of a new domain, basically.
Yeah, I mean I think that's not that hard. You just put something in front of Bad Karma, like.
Yeah, but what? Like, what would help brand recognition?
I got bad karma.
I got bad karma.
Yeah, it's
that's
just
not terrible. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like little things like that.
And mind you, we can have multiple and just redirect it back to the site.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That is an option. They're only $12 a year.
I was trying to think. I don't know if you could break up like Bad Karma into like where the last two letters are the actual like what's it called? What am I thinking of? Instead of .com, it'd be like .ma. Is .ma a thing? I don't know.
Is there a way that we can make our logo an emoji?
No. You don't want to do that, though. You want to make it as easy as possible to find your site, you know?
Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, what if we
put like a shirt at the end?
No, I'm just saying, like, our logo.
Flex.
Like, how can we inject it in people's phones as an emoji so it becomes a universal signal as bad karma? A universal sign as bad karma. Like, say, like, I want to text you and I just hit you with the.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah. I don't know how you get that. I think you can load in custom emojis, but I don't know how you would get that. Like,
Jordan's the tech guy.
Push to a wide variety. Like, all that's controlled by is like the apps. The apps can control custom emojis, but usually it's like the manufacturers, right? And the OS, you know, whatever your operating system kind of is pushed with.
Yeah.
From the
But
default.
But
you can download new packages.
I see Jordan thinking over there. See him thinking.
Well, I mean, like, you have an iPhone, right? It's Apple who controls what emojis you see.
Mm-hmm.
So then, Jordan, you got the in on Apple, right? Or was it Google?
I'll go back to Apple Park.
Yeah, it was Apple.
San Jose is nice. I'll go back.
Yeah, be like, bro, we got this idea. We need you to help us.
We need you to help our marketing. They'll be like, okay, we got you. It's going to be about $10 million.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
They will not be a willing participant.
I'll tell you what, bad-karma.com is available.
See? There you go. Redirect. We could do that. We could get other names. I got bad karma. I love bad karma. I want bad karma.
I don't know if we want a symbol.
Gimme bad karma.
Give me bad karma.
We'll definitely have to brainstorm this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's all about enduring the suffering. Coming out of the hero's journey, transformed and taking over and conquering the world.
I'm guessing you're going to head up the social media then.
No, I got this guy. Name is David Goggins.
David Goggins, you're going to contract him out to be like, oh, I got so much bad karma.
Oh my God.
He's going to be like, bitch, I don't wear a shirt.
Then we'll be like, all right, we're going to pay you to get the logo tatted on you.
Oh my God. That would cost some money, dude.
Yeah. Just across the forehead.
How much is it going to cost you, David? Huh?
He'd be like, your life.
Your life.
Your soul. Your soul.
Yeah.
Souls.
Yeah, that'd be a tough sell. But here's the other thing too, when you're doing marketing, I mean, maybe you guys got some people, you need like people who can model it too.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
I could definitely
like just some like fit dudes at the gym, like, hey man, just throw this on. I need to take some pictures, or chicks, like whoever. That's the other thing too. Like, you either need, are we just doing like
unisex, in the beginning,
or is it male? Guys. Yeah, guys. Yeah. I mean, that's a little bit easier to focus on
in the beginning.
But
and then later on we get into lingerie.
What? Lingerie? What?
Yeah, that's a good turn.
Was this like bad karma at night?
Athletic wear.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
All right, let's table that one for now.
Yeah. Oh damn, dude! All these websites keep pushing me off to the freaking German websites. It's killing me.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I should probably turn my VPN on. Why is it not on? Actually, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at the shirt that I like.
Legitimized.
See what it's made of, stuff like that. Look up.
You froze there, Chris.
Oh, sorry, my VPN kicked in. Yeah. Oh, damn, and it put me on a VPN in Germany. That is the opposite.
Nice. That's what you want.
I'm excited.
You should be. I feel like we definitely got the interest, at least to push it forward. So, my strategy right now is to continue the scaffolding. I was working on it last night and the day before, so it won't take long. I just need some placeholders so I can actually get the site up and running. But I can already get it hosted. I just need a domain, but I'll show you once I do get it hosted. We also need to claim up some socials, but I can start doing that. I just can't do a YouTube because I'm maxed out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I can't get a YouTube channel.
Okay.
How many YouTube channels do they max you out at?
6.
Yeah, but can't we just set up like another like web email address for like just a different Gmail?
Yeah, you need a second Gmail.
Yeah.
But either way, I feel like we got this. What are you gonna do? To push this forward.
I told you. All right, so I'm gonna reach out to the 2 guys that have their own clothing company.
Okay, market research.
Yeah, see how they do their process. I'm gonna look up the shirt that I really like, see what it's made of. See if I can look where I can get that in bulk, or do my hands-on research. See if it's even like the same material that we will even get. And I'm gonna look at the shorts because I like the shorts with the long string.
I don't even know where you get them, man.
Because neither do I, but there's a place that makes them. I mean, like, I'm not. You just I we're gonna change how people. We're gonna change what people wear, or at least guys wear, because we all know, like, it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. I think it's gonna be dope. We're gonna impact this business. People from 10 years from now are gonna find this podcast, listen to it. We're gonna do it.
They'll be like, how did these giants figured it out? How did they
giants?
How did they figure it out?
And I'm impressed with the logo, honestly. Like,
the logo is fucking sick. It's sick.
I think it looked good on a hat too, man.
Absolutely,
oh my God,
dude.
yeah.
I want a hat.
Yeah. Like a clean white hat and a clean black hat, you know what I mean? Like I think it'll look good on like both of those.
Man, and too bad I don't have it now because I could be wearing it with all these people from out of town here.
Why are people?
It's DNC.
Oh yeah, is there riots there?
Huh?
Somebody said there was riots there or protests.
Oh yeah, there's a shit ton of protests. They're all over Clark and Lake and the West Loop right now. I was just there yesterday. I saw the motorcade, the presidential limo. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
Somebody put like Project 2025 on Trump Tower. Is that true?
I didn't see it myself, but yeah, they projected it.
Oh. I'm low key done with politics.
Why? It's so much fun.
I'm getting burnt out, man.
It's so much fun.
No. Oh, because of this. Because all right. Here we go. So on the last podcast, Chris said something extremely profound.
Sounds about right.
He said that, it's, politics, it's their identity, right? So it's like, if you're a Republican, you think this way. If you're a Democrat, you think this way. You have these ideologies, right? Somebody, like, when they walk up, like, oh, I'm a Democrat. Oh, so I know exactly what you think. I know exactly what this is, and I know exactly what you think about the other side. Oh, I'm a Republican. Oh, really? So I know exactly what you think. I know your morals. I know this. I know that. To me, I think that is a psyop. Because listen. If you know like a certain ideology, right? If you identify with a Democrat, be like, yeah, I'm a Democrat. You don't think at all. Somebody already put all your ideologies, all of what you think should be right, what should be wrong, in your mind already. Like, you don't think at all. Same with the Republican side.
Well,
Somebody put all those ideologies, all because you identify as a Republican or a Democrat. And I think it's like, oh, that's where the thing is, because the conflict, the friction, because people aren't thinking, they just identify with that certain ideology.
well, I mean, each party, right, has a set of principles. They have a set of certain policies that they wish that are overarching, you know. Republicans, small government tax cuts, I would say, is the biggest two. Democrats, welfare programs, and abortion. That's probably their biggest. I would say most people closely align. If you closely align with some of these policies, then they'll probably be part of that party. But I don't think they hook, line, and sinker for everything, every single policy the party aligns to. There's a lot of people that want to change policies within their
But
party.
if you go up there and be like, yo, yeah, I'm a Democrat, I know what you think. I know what you think about the other side. I know how you feel about certain things.
Yeah, I think, you know, agnostic of the party's platform, you can just tell, like, all right, honestly, you could just look at somebody like, I know everything you're thinking. At least 90%. Like, there's
Exactly.
always the surprise, right? Where it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's like, no, actually, you know, yeah, I'm a super liberal hippie, but I like guns. And it's like, oh shit, okay, that's a weird one, but like you find those people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially like if they were maybe like grown up with that kind of stuff. But I think like 90% of it, especially nowadays, because people are so polarized, at least that's what they're gonna say. Whether or not they actually believe it is
Believe
a
it?
different
Yeah.
question. But like that's what they're gonna project out into society. Is like I am, blue all the way through, right? Like that's the kind of on both sides. It
On
doesn't
both
matter.
sides, it doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
then even like the libertarian people, you're like, I know all your shit, especially the really crazy ones, right?
What, like
Like,
lowering the age of consent? That's a big one.
dude, that's a weird one.
What?
And then
Yeah. You'd be surprised
Wait.
how many libertarians are just like, man, because they see
We
it as a government regulation.
we need to
Yeah.
save our kids.
Like those weird
Save
like
our kids.
anarcho-capitalists are like kind of crazy,
I
bro.
love those guys. Are you kidding me? They're the
What's
best,
the
dude.
what's the constitutionalist guys? They're like, I don't need a license.
Oh, the
Blah, blah,
sovereign
blah.
citizens.
Sovereign citizens. Those guys are wild too, bro.
Dude, I love those police bus videos, and it's a sovereign citizen, and it's always like in Florida, you know?
Yeah. Florida or Texas.
I'm not driving, I am traveling. That's what
Yeah.
it says on my license plate.
But I will say this though, like the thing is like all right. So
I just want to. I just think it's not so cut and dry. Like again, you have like I would say each party has like at least 5 core principles, and most people that are in that party agree, but they differ on how to enact on it, little things, and party policy changes all the time. There's always new ones that happen. Like look at the Republican Party. There's a new policy, kill CRT, that popped up somewhere nowhere, and people started. Hey, that's a new one. That's a new policy we need to put in. Anti-DI, that's a new one. For the Democrats, it's
yeah, I know
whatever
that.
Trump says, fuck them, I guess.
Right, but I know that. But I'm saying is like they all like you said it was a war, right? It's always a war, right? Between the Democrats and the Republican. Everybody's fighting for each side or whatever.
It's by design.
But I know it's by design, but I'm just saying the thing is like if I identify as a Republican, you know exactly where like
Yeah, it's because you're worried about if you step out of line, you're ostracized.
right, which to me I feel like is a psyop, right? You got so many people brainwashed into taking that as an identity.
Well, it's not really a psyop. It's more like get in line. You know?
Yeah, I think you're abusing the word psyop here.
I mean, like
people don't like to hear someone in their party have a disagree with something they fundamentally believe in.
I think it's a mob mentality, bro. Like at the end of the day,
it's definitely. Did you see what happened to Kyle Rittenhouse when he said he wanted to vote libertarian?
Oh my god!
Yeah, he had mob justice done on him.
Yeah, and he backtracked hard. You know what I mean? Like a psyop is like a little more, I think, surgical, right? You're just like, hey, I need to do this in order to get this done, and it is very much planned and coordinated, and it's long burn. But I think you have usually some kind of central orchestration where a lot of this stuff kind of happens organically. You know what I mean?
But just like a minute ago, hey, I got a thumbs up. What the heck?
What the fuck was that?
I guess Google's agreeing with you, man. Your personal FBI agent's like, good going. You're doing it.
It'll work for you. But no, just a minute ago, Jordan just said it was by design. So if it's like by design, wouldn't be like surgical, like, hey.
I mean, yeah, I think there's by design as like, hey, we need to get these mofos doing this. But I don't think there's like this like a lot of it is just organic as it comes up. It just kind of happens, right? Like everybody has an end state. Like we're talking about, hey, we need people to like this brand, right? Is that a psyop?
It's gonna be, yeah. I
mean,
and the thing is, the part, if it was really,
are you trying to change somebody's psychology in order to get them to do it? No, you're manipulating their reward system, and that's all people are doing right now. Like psyops are like to get you to change how you view, like how you think.
But that's what manipulating is. It's changing.
No, I think manipulating is to get somebody to do what you want them to do, whether they want to or not. Like a psyop is like literally like it could literally change the way your brain processes information for good or for bad, right? Like for whatever that end state is. And you know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all semantics, right? Like,
yeah, it is.
You could say it. I mean,
I just think
people throw around the word psyop all the time when I think psyop has a specific meaning, as opposed to just like, you know, mob mentality, manipulation.
It's definitely mob mentality, and the way like how polarized we are, because we are very polarized. The parties are pretty much degraded into thinking it's a battle of good and evil on everything. Like you need to agree with us, or
it's so painful,
or they really love using children as a prop. Like they're going to fucking do something to your kids. It's a very popular prop they've used for decades and decades. Your way of life is going to change. The children are going to be horrible. They're going to be taken away. Blah blah blah. All this. They're always coming for your kids. They always want your kids. They always want your women and children. You know.
Right. All right. So all right.
It's always the biggest appeal.
I got a question for you guys. All right. So, who is more likely to do a 2-hour podcast out of these three people?
A Democrat. Right?
Trump, JFK, or RFK, or Kamala to do a
RFK because he's already done it. He's already done a bunch of them.
I mean,
and that's the free media. That's all the free media he can get.
And who would be second?
Second would be Trump.
And then who would be third?
Probably Kamala. I mean, the last one, Kamala.
Has Kamala ever done a podcast?
No, she's been the vice president kind of since podcasting has really exploded.
What's stopping her now?
I mean, the Secret Service probably.
Donald Trump does podcasts.
Well, yeah, but he's not an active member of the federal government either, right? So, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what the vice president's schedule is. She's also like, I think the Democrats view the alternative media a little bit differently than Republicans have, because you've seen a lot of those guys kind of flourish. And so they see that as their kind of target audience, where I think the Democrats view mainstream media as more their target audience.
I never looked at it like that before.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
I think you'll probably see her. She's more likely to do something on 60 Minutes or, you know, like one of those kind of more prime time things where it's very edited and controlled.
But I want to see her. I want to see her talk for like 2 hours, unedited and uncontrolled.
I mean, I don't think Trump's ever done 2 hours though, man. His things are usually like 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, it's usually 45 minutes to an hour, and then he kind of gets done.
I mean,
or even just an hour. Like, I mean, I listened to the one he did with Elon for 2 hours, and I don't like Elon as the interviewer because he just talks over Trump the whole time.
They both talk over each other. The only difference I had is that Elon has a very vested interest in making Trump look good, so you saw little to no pushback, you know.
But Elon doesn't know how to talk at all.
Well, I wouldn't make him a host of anything. I would say that. Yeah.
Did you know? And then Trump has a lisp. Like, if you listen to it, it's like this guy has a lisp. I never knew that before.
Well, he's like old. He slurs a little bit, you know. It's just it comes with age, you know.
But I want to see Camilla on a podcast. I don't want to see her on 60 Minutes. I don't want to see her on.
Who do you think would be a good host for her?
What about that guy? What's his name? Don Lemon, the gay guy.
Yeah, didn't like Elon axe a show like immediately after the first interview?
Yeah, but he still has a show. He has a podcast of his own. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a deal where he was going to do it exclusively on X, kind of like how like Tucker Carlson was doing it in the beginning. But then he interviewed Elon, and Elon was like, I don't like this guy.
And Elon just revoked the deal, dude. Amazing shit, dude. It was great.
I was like, damn. Remember he was saying that Don Lemon was like making these ridiculous demands, like he wanted a free Cybertruck.
Yeah.
He wanted like
I didn't hear that. That's crazy.
Yeah. He made these like wild, and Elon was like, go fuck yourself. Like, I was like, all right, damn, like that's kind of wild. Like, I don't know if anybody. So I think one, you even just said it, right? Like, well, Elon didn't push back. Like, whoever Kamala goes to, they're not going to push back. It's going to be a friendly host.
Well, yeah, especially that's why they're going to do probably mainstream. But I'm just wondering who would be a good host. Like, Rogan won't do it. So,
but Rogan,
yeah, if he won't interview Trump, I can't imagine he'll interview Kamala.
My thing is, I want to see her on an hour podcast, unedited and uncontrolled. Like,
I think
it doesn't
Lex
matter.
Friedman.
I do it. I was waiting for one of you to say Lex Friedman.
Yeah, I think Lex would be a good one because he's very thoughtful.
Yeah,
and I think he's a little more down the. You know, he'll be respectful, but I think he'll kind of push and kind of be like, you know, he's really big like, well, let's kind of dive into that, and that's where you're going to see like how deep does she really want to go on issues.
Yeah, because I the thing with me is like with Trump, you're getting Trump. Like, you know, when he tweets, it's coming from him, you know, where Camilla, she has a whole team, you know, like.
Well, you say it's coming from him, but like when he was in office, like they were still tweeting out his stuff too. Like he had a team, like it was like the communications director. It was only like 2 or 3 other people, but they were tweeting as him.
Right. But now
I don't know. Like he's still got a team.
I mean, he does have a team, but I feel like, I don't know. For me, I just feel like I don't see Trump as being like a puppet.
You see him as more authentic.
He's too off the cuff, like for sure, right?
Right. But for like Camilla, I just feel like it's just like
well, there's like a machine behind her.
There's a machine. And I just want to see her without the machine for like an hour and see how she handles things.
You're not going to do that. You're not going to see that.
One, it doesn't matter because they're going to, even if they do that, they're going to fucking prep out the wazoo.
Even if they're prepped, I mean, like they should. I mean, like, I still want to just see her just go on a podcast for an hour and 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
This is coming from a plea of an undecided voter.
Just to see how you handle certain things, just to see her body her, you know, like her body behavior, the way that she can, you know, communicate, stuff like that.
Adjust. Yeah.
It'd be nice. I think the
don't see it happening.
more likely, I think if anyone's going to do a 2-hour off the cuff interview, it's probably going to be Tim Walz. I can see him doing it. I can't see Kamala doing it.
Right.
And we probably will see it.
I don't. I don't know, man. I just want to see it be a little bit more transparent.
No, I hear you.
Yeah. Whereas so I've seen, I want to say like 4 podcasts with Donald Trump. So I feel like, he's a little bit more transparent.
I think he's just more willing to put himself out there because there's nobody controlling him anyway. And I think I think their strategy is to get him in the front of as many people as possible.
And Trump is uniquely equipped for it. He's an entertainer, That's what he's not
That's his comfort zone.
Yeah, that is his comfort zone, is to be an entertainer, being in front of a camera and being in front of a mic. That's his thing. What's Kamala? She was a prosecutor.
And she's a politician now, right? She's been a politician. Even as a DA, you're a politician, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah, but Trump is a showman.
But you still have to sit there. I mean, you still got to let us in. How can people vote for you if you don't let it?
I mean, that's a fair criticism, right? I think a lot of people view her as, and a lot of those politicians as fake, non-transparent, just opaque figures that are just like robots, right?
Yeah.
Like when Marco Rubio got killed in the primaries in 2016 because he was just repeating the line. And they have all those videos of Kamala just saying the same thing over and over in the same order over and over, like the stump speech kind of thing, right? Where Trump doesn't do that.
No, he doesn't.
Because I don't think his brain works that way. He's not he just can't rehearse stuff. He's not into rote memorization.
It's true.
Yeah, he's got his kind of lines, and then he's just he's like, all right.
Yeah,
because he's more of a feel guy. He's like, oh, they're really liking this. I'm about to just riff.
Yeah,
what I mean? He feeds off the energy of the crowd. So it's just I think in the podcasting space, I don't think you're ever going to see Kamala. I mean, who knows? Maybe.
I don't see it.
Maybe, but it's going to be super friendly and it's going to be edited. I don't see it being live.
But even though even though it'd be friendly, you can see her, you can see her, her body language, her reactions to certain questions, or, just to see her really I just want to just see her. That's it.
No, man, I get your frustration. You want to see who's going to be the most powerful person. You want to get to know who's going to be the most powerful person on earth.
And I understand, that's why it's so hard for me to even even consider voting for her, because I know it's just a completely machine that is just keeping her in a bubble. You know what I mean? That's just we don't really know who she is.
This was the same complaint in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
About who?
About Biden. Yeah. This was the same complaint. Yeah.
Even though Biden debated Trump, they prepped him, right? They prepped him so very well, actually. I feel like they prepped him, because even Biden, I mean, even though he mumbled or some stuff, he went toe to toe with Trump, man. I mean, for an old guy, I mean,
he definitely did better in 2020 though in those debates than this last debate. One debate.
Biden used to be a pretty good debater. If you saw him during the vice presidential debates when he was Obama's running mate, he was smacking down. He ended Paul Ryan.
Yeah, that's pretty true. Yeah, Paul Ryan kind of, Also, Biden had a little more charisma than Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan was like a piece of Wonder Bread toast, dude.
Well,
it was just
Wisconsin as a whole.
There was nothing there. He was a cheese curd.
What was the demise of Biden? Right?
He got old.
He got old. People saw how
he got old quick.
People saw how he walked. People saw how he talked, and people were just enamored by the way he would look like this on camera, right?
This is the
That's what
best.
I'm saying. I just want to see.
Dude,
I just want to see Harris just.
when he was at that black church or whatever,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was one of the best
He did
I mean, when
what?
everyone's dancing, he's just standing there like,
He's just like, he's at the black church and they're all dancing and like praising God. And he's just like, he was like, you can tell in his mind, he's like, how did I get here? What do I do?
it was awesome, dude. That was awesome.
It was so awkward and cringe, but I couldn't look away. I was like, this is amazing, dude. Or when he like chased after that one chick because he thought it was his wife. Like, it was just like, you know, who let grandpa out? Like, that's the problem. That's how everybody viewed him. You know what I mean? Is like, grandpa's at it again. And that's when you lose. That's when you lose the base.
Yeah. So that's why we don't have Grandpa Joe anymore. We have Mamala.
Oh yeah, what is up with that? Yeah,
Mamala, baby. We need a phenomenon. It's gonna be Mamala.
Oh man,
it's Brat Summer, man.
Yeah.
I just don't know why. It scares me that they shelter her so much.
The thing is, like, your expectations have been changed because of Trump. Like, this isn't anything new. It's just what you're trying to do is make her something that's uniquely Trump.
Like, she's just running a very traditional campaign. Right. That's how they've done it. Trump just couldn't do that because he's not a traditional guy. And he never had the people around it. I mean, he kind of did with like Kellyanne Conway, and they tried to like, you know, she's the reason he won, right? Because they actually put some semblance of a campaign together in like 2016, and she wasn't there in 2020, right? And you kind of saw what happened. And like, if you look at it now, like he was not prepared for Kamala to really take the reins, and he's starting to kind of like become more visceral in his attacks and with more ad hominem, and he's kind of moving away from policy a little bit. And now it's like, and that's where they're kind of relying on like JD Vance, who like nobody really cares about, to kind of like push the policy narrative. And Trump's just attacking Kamala, and it's kind of backfiring because his campaign is just not having great successive messaging anymore. It's just very much personal, right?
Right now
their campaign is messaging hard,
right? And like, whatever their messaging and PR team was with Biden is definitely not there anymore. Like, whoever they got now is on point, and the Trump's campaign is floundering.
Yeah, it's totally well, here's the thing too, is because she's not Biden. Yeah, she can run on Biden's record, but then she can also run on her own policies that could be drastic, and a lot of them are drastically different, right? I mean, she's known to be kind of a shapeshifter. She's not an ideologue, right? She's kind of a populist. She's kind of about like trying to just get elected, and she's already backtracked on so much stuff. Yeah, like with like environmental stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know, she's backtracking on like taxes and stuff. You know, because she's like, these aren't as popular as we want them to be. Because again, she's just trying to win the election. Right. Whether or not she actually does that stuff, like that's.
And one of the
TBD.
And one of the big messagings that the Trump campaign was trying to say was Biden is too old to be president, you know?
Yeah.
And that was ripped right under him, and now he's the old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
that attack doesn't work as well against Trump because he doesn't seem as old as Biden.
Yeah.
I think Biden seemed a lot older. So and I don't think the Democrats are even pushing. They'll kind of drop that here and there. But
it's not like an official, like, you know, attack from the Democrats, but Democrats as a whole are using it.
I don't know why the politicians just like why, like, I get why they attack on each other, but at the same time, it's like that doesn't work. And I think,
I mean, it worked in 2016. People loved that it was fresh.
It was so new, though. Yeah, that's the thing. It was like, did you guys ever watch that? That I told you that Shane Gillis like stand up about like the debates in 2016.
I think
where it's like Trump's like, you know, Rand Paul's wife or Ted Cruz's wife, she's a dog or whatever. and he's like, and people are like, oh shit, we can do that.
Yeah, people loved it because
are we doing this?
Because what Trump enabled innately in conservatives and Republicans is what they unlocked and kind of moved the Republican, in my opinion, party towards more is not necessarily policy, but just seeing their enemies suffer.
But the one thing I like the non-traditional way. I am not a fan of the traditional way, like you guys were saying, how
I mean, I don't like Trump's way, to be honest.
I don't like his way neither. But I'm
It beats you
saying
down a little bit.
he's
It
the
definitely
only.
wears
it's
quick.
definitely like since
The shelf life
2016,
is short.
Yeah,
like since 2016, polarization has been in just dire straits, man. It's pretty bad. Like where you have like, let's say Marjorie Taylor Greene saying the nation should get a divorce.
God, I hate that lady. I don't know how she's still.
How we have a sitting congresswoman saying that, hey, we should divide the states. It's gotten pretty bad. Like the decorum is kind of gone at this point, and people are just saying anything, no matter how deranged
it's all about owning people.
Yes,
and just like just getting clicks, and like there's no like I think Republicans used to be really good at having what they considered the moral high ground.
Yes, I would say so. Yeah,
that was their push. Like, hey, we are law and order. We're very family focused. We're life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, minimal government. Cut spending, low taxes, live your life. And then like the Democrats on the other side were like, hey, we're going to take care of you. This is about society, it's social welfare, it was like the opposite of like the whole country's your family, right? It wasn't about the nuclear family. It was about like we need to take care of each other, and to do that we got to raise taxes. We're all in this together, right? But then they had some like kind of interesting other things, but it was like, okay, but like pro-choice, and like some of those other issues where they were kind of like back and forth. It was like, okay, like it gets a little more morally dicey, and the Republicans were always very staunch. And then like with Trump, it was just like all that shit was out the door. Yeah, like he recreated what a Republican was, and like the whole term conservative has changed.
Yeah,
right.
This is what I mean by like
what it used to be.
It moved from like pragmatism, pragmatism, but to make your enemies suffer. They just want to own their enemies. They want to make this is why they have shit like fuck your feelings or make the Democrats make the libs cry again, because it's all about that high you get when you epically troll someone you just hate. That's what the Republicans primarily, the average Republican seems to primarily care about nowadays.
Yeah. They like how, and they're no law. It's all social issues now. There's nothing else.
Yeah. So the culture war is the perfect thing because they can, fuck around. But as long as 0.1% of the population is trans, that's bad. If they just keep messaging on that instead of what actually will fix the country, then it seems like a lot of people will continue and march on with it.
And I think what's going to happen, you're going to see the Harris campaign move away from a lot of social issues and start to focus on more fiscal and government policy and foreign relations kind of stuff, because whatever the culture war is, the culture war, and what's going to kind of drive people who couldn't give two shits about that stuff, it's going to be like, hey, what's the government actually going to be doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And if Trump can't lay that messaging out, it's gonna hurt him, of the people who actually care about that kind of messaging.
And the Democrats absolutely should, because I don't know, just to expand a little further on the make enemies suffer thing. If you turn on like any alternate media or right-wing media, it's most of the conservative messagings nowadays is there's an enemy that needs to be defeated. Whether it's illegal immigrants, whether it's trans people, whether it's wokeness, there's a battle to fight. Meanwhile,
you could say that on the Democrat side, though.
Well, that's more like
alternative. But they just have one enemy, and that's Donald Trump.
It's singular.
That's the thing, right? It's like, I think on the right, it's like, hey, we gotta crush these people because what they stand for is evil. And then on the left side, it's like, we gotta crush this dude because he is a threat to the world, because he is evil. You know what I mean? Where I think there's a little bit of a nuanced thought process there, but like they're thinking the same thing. It's just their focus is different, right? So, and they don't have much on Kamala except that they're just like, hey,
she laughs.
She laughs really weird and nervously. She's an okay speaker. But she is what she needs, a very well-maintained, well-oiled machine behind her in order for her to be successful, where Trump doesn't really need that. He could use it, but he's worn on people for the last, fucking 8 years of this, So that's his problem, is he's almost like oversaturated the media with his like kind of crass, brash, like his shelf life is just shrinking very quickly, which is an issue. So people are either solidified against him or they're like, oh man, at least I don't have to vote for that other old dude,
Yeah,
that's the thing, right? Is like,
I think they just said RFK is endorsing Trump.
So I saw something where his like vice president,
I saw that too.
Yeah, she said something like that, and people were freaking out about that.
Well, his vice president basically came out and said they realize they are siphoning more votes away from Trump than Biden. So basically, they have two options: is to keep going or try to make a deal with Trump and they can get a cabinet position. But either
which is
way,
kind of wild to me, because like he's a pretty hardcore liberal, RFK.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but see,
I just find it ironic because like most of his platform and most of his fame right now for political wise is coming from the vaccine. So he's throwing his lot with the guy who made Operation Warp Speed.
There's probably, you know what? Honestly, I
just find it ironic in a way.
Something behind the scenes we just don't know.
I mean, deals are made all the time behind doors.
I think it's the Democrats are just so anti RFK because they view him as like kind of
that too, yeah,
kind of far out there, and he's just Trump might be more amenable to him because it's not the Republicans, it's just Trump.
Yeah,
and he's kind of made his way through like the right wing media because he seems like RFK seems like a sane Democrat as compared to whatever, right? Like they just see because he's a little more closely aligned to the center, I think, on some things. Other things he's not. Like he's very far left on a lot of issues, right? And traditionally anti-vax was far left. You know what I mean? It was like my body, my choice.
Yeah.
And then, the only reason the Republicans hate the COVID vaccine was because the rollout was really more under Biden than Trump.
Yeah.
And it was something they could rally around.
It's true. And it would have been reversed if Trump had won 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be the complete opposite. Because even Kamala, she said, I'm not going to put anything in my body that Trump's, administration created. Remember, like she was anti-vax, COVID vax.
A lot of those, like even like the Democrat influencers, if you see their posts about like, take the vaccine and shit, if you just roll back when Trump was still president, they were just like, I don't know if I trust it. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just like, it's just games, man. It's just games.
Yeah.
Painful.
It's how it is. It's how it is, man. People, when you're getting paid by a political organization, you got to be malleable. You got to be malleable. But I think at the end of the day, RFK just recognizes he can get more out of Trump than he could with the Democrats because he's not going to get anything from the Democrats.
That's it. Yeah, because he alienated them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They don't want anything to do with him, and Trump will give him something, or at least give him a platform.
Yeah.
But Trump,
if it's not in the government, he'll give him a platform.
What?
Trump used to be a Democrat.
He's been a Democrat longer than he's been a Republican. You should see his 2000. He had a platform in 2000. You should see it. It's remarkably left.
Yeah. And did you see? Did you see the most recent like Rogan thing where he was playing Trump on The View right before he announced his candidacy in 2016? Like with Barbara, he walks in there, they're like all hugging him and blah blah blah, and they're like very cordial with him. It was right before he hadn't announced yet, but he was seriously considering running for president. And Barbara Walters like, how they're like, you've had 2 wives and divorces, and we've had like Newt Gingrich apologize for that stuff. Like, doesn't that matter? And she's like, you're socially liberal. Like, how are you going to win these guys over? And he was just like, change. He's like, they need somebody who's strong, who's going to protect them. And he's like, 5-10 years ago, they might have cared about my divorces, the Republicans. He's like, not anymore. Things are so bad. He's like, they won't care about it. And he was right. I mean, he kind of called it. He was definitely more measured. And he knew like his plan. And they were like really like kind of nice to him. It was kind of weird.
Well, he was still a media darling at the time, you know.
Yeah.
It wasn't until
like
he
Barbara
started
Walters
running
is
that
like
he
my
wasn't.
friend Donald Trump,
Right.
and he like gives Whoopi Goldberg like a kiss on the cheek, dude.
Right.
It was like weird.
It's
you know.
2016 changed a lot, dude. It's
Joy Behar was like agreeing with him,
yeah,
on some things he was saying.
And you know what? It
crazy.
resonated. His platform resonated. Even just it wasn't just, you know, because he was, you know, taking other politicians to task, but like he ran on a populist platform, and that really ran because, like, I mean, as magnetic as Obama was, he still was like, I call him an okay president. I call him an okay president, you know?
Obama?
Yeah, Obama. I'm not going to say he's anything spectacular. He's not FDR.
He was very run of the mill, milk toast president. When it came to policy.
What?
Are you talking about the GOAT?
Again, see, like, he's very like magnetic. He was very.
I would say he was the GOAT candidate.
He was the GOAT,
one of the best presidential candidates, and he was like a really great statesman, right?
No,
great
his
speaker.
charisma was off.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, yeah.
But I'm saying is his policies and what he did as a president.
Yeah, it was probably even less than mediocre. I mean,
it just wasn't. Yeah,
it was milquetoast. Like, you can't tell me you came out of 2020. You can't tell me that you, during his second term in 2020 and then 2012 and then 2016, that you really felt the change, you know?
There was no change.
That's why Trump won, right? Because he was like, hey, he's like, nothing's changed in the last 8 years. He was like, countries are taking advantage of us. Like, that was his big thing, right? China's taking advantage of us. You know,
the NATO countries, European countries.
That's why a lot of people who voted for Trump were Obama voters, 2-time Obama voters.
Yeah.
That was only the one time though. Like, they definitely didn't vote for him in 2020. That's for sure. But you know,
we will find our president, even if it is Kamala Harris, who just does.
It's going to be tough
on a podcast.
I think one of the most true things Trump has ever said was, every time I wanted to do something, every time I wanted to say, hey, I want to pull out of this place or I want to change this policy, straight from casting, there would be somebody that walks in and says, Mr. President, we can't do this. It'd be some like random general I've never seen before and say, Mr. President, we can't do that. And I believe that happens. I mean, there is a system in place that you're going to have to fight against. Like, as much as I would have liked in 2016 Bernie Sanders, I would have liked Bernie Sanders to have a real chance as president. He would have been absolutely railroaded. He would have been a lame duck, essentially. Like, look at like Jesse Ventura when his governorship in Minnesota, railroaded by Congress. Like, at some point you can promise a lot of things, you can change a lot of things, but you're going to have to get a shit ton of people on board, you know, and a shit ton of people who make profits, who have their position in that stuff that's not necessarily helping the American people, you know?
So I'm reading this book by Louis Elizondo called Intimate.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that some of these, like, career like generals or whatever, they just view the president as a temporary employee.
Well, I mean, he kind of is, though. Like, generals are there for life, essentially.
Right. So, like, when they have that guy go in there, be like, sir, we can't do this. I'm like, oh.
I mean, if let's say you're like a 5-star general, right? You've been in the thick of the action all your life, you know, and you have this lawyer dude who spoke very well, and now he's the commander in chief, and he's telling you battle strategies. How likely are you going to take it seriously? I mean, you will for chain of command reasons, but like inside, how would you really feel?
There's zero respect, right? If you haven't done it yourself, if you don't have that experience, how can you expect anybody to respect you if you don't have that experience and done it yourself, right? It's very hard. It's very difficult.
But that's why they have like the Secretary of Defense is a civilian, right? And is politically appointed. And technically, here's the thing though that people kind of leave out is that a lot of these generals will kiss the president's ass because it's up to him to promote them.
Yeah.
All generals are appointed and approved by Congress. So actually, I think a lot of times it's the other way around, where they're like, "Whatever you say, sir. Yep, I will do exactly what you say."
I mean, I certainly see that with General Flynn.
Remember
that guy's a crackpot, dude.
Remember that podcast that you just sent us on Spotify with the CIA agent? That's what he said. That's exactly what he said. He said, you know, one of the reasons why he got out of the CIA was because it's like, you know, if you're in a career for 10 years, and I have the same problem too. He's like, it's in the corporate world and it's even in my world. If you only make it to the top by just keep saying yes. Yes, yes, yes. And if you say no, hey, this is a bad idea, you either get thrown out for doing that too many times, or you just end up leaving because you know it's just not gonna work out.
Yeah. And the other thing is too, like, I think the impediment to the president a lot of times is like with Bernie Sanders, I don't think it's the generals so much as the Mitch McConnells, you know.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. I'm not.
It's these dudes who control the government and can shift massive amounts of money to different candidates to whip votes.
Right.
Right.
That's because what Nancy Pelosi was so good at. Whipping votes.
She was amazing at it.
She was the goat at that.
She's like, you're not going to get elected anyway, so I'm going to put all my money behind you. I think this district is purple. We can turn it blue. You know what I mean? And like they were very like strategic about that stuff. And then they get legislation passed. And then what's the president going to say? No, I'm not going to sign it unless it's something crazy.
It's so crazy how there's some people that just completely like mastered like that game. You know what I mean?
I mean, it is a game.
Like it's insane. Like they completely just mastered it.
I mean, careers are supposed to be something you're an expert at, and politician is a career.
Politician, and then like there's literally jobs of political strategist. That's a job.
Yeah.
Is how to, you know, do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because they're like votes equal money.
Votes equal money. Money equals votes.
And it equals power.
Yeah.
And money, and that just equals power, dude.
You know, the only thing the president really has a lot of good control over is like foreign relations. Like that's something that can be hard for Congress to kind of rein a president in on, outside of like treaties and stuff, because they got to like approve it. But they can, you know, treaties don't have to be enforced. That's up to the president to enforce them. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like Trump pulled out of like the Russia, that one treaty, Open Skies. And I mean, you know, he pulled out of a couple treaties.
Why did he pull out of that treaty?
Because I can't remember what it was.
A bad deal?
No.
Well, you also got to be careful with your foreign relations.
He didn't. He pulled out of it, but it was expiring, and they never were going to renegotiate it. Because I don't think he like saw any like real political capital in it. You know, for him, everything was like, how do I like? My biggest issue with Trump was it was more about how does he maintain his popularity and his candidacy over the good of the country, and like making like, you know, some of these other deals outside of the one with China that he was trying to make. But you know, it was all about like money and not political influence on the global scale. It was too economic based and not like power based, if that makes sense, and influence based.
Did you want to be balanced or like just?
Yeah. I think it should have been like, you know, it should have been a little bit more diplomatic and understanding like how a lot of these other countries view foreign relations. Like he just tied everything back to the economy. Everything was a monetary value to him. When I think there's just more layers, and he didn't look at those other layers very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was like, if we're not getting paid, then we're losing, right?
Mm.
When you can win in other ways, which is, you know, kind of like how other presidents kind of played it. It was like economics, influence, diplomacy, military might, right? We had cornered everything. We had the economy, we had the military power and reach. No other military in the world has the reach that we have, right? We can touch anywhere on the globe. You know, diplomatically, we can talk to any country pretty much.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
could talk to
outside of his,
country. We can.
yeah,
Our boats can be anywhere in the
we
world.
can isolate any country we want,
Yeah.
and we can get other countries to do what we tell them to do, right? You know, all those play together, and he was just so focused on the money thing, and I think that drove a wedge into a lot of people because they're like, hey, like let's not make it about money, let's make it about more than that.
Yeah.
And that was his like kind of weakness there.
Because that's all he knows.
That's all he cares about.
It is all he cares about. I mean, and he's also very, how should I say this? Very focused on pretty much returning a big ROI to his donors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Single track mind, brother.
Single track mind. All right. But that's all the time we have left. Thank you for watching Back Society. This is Jay signing off.
This is S.
This is ROI money, baby.
Oh, Back Society, man. Remember that.
That's right, son.
Peace.